Dear friends, welcome to another video of Fathoming Mind. In today's video, we are going to discuss about how spiritual well-being helps for a person's daily living. So, what is this? We have to understand before going to the point. What is this spiritual well-being? So we know that there are different things people are doing in their life, their emotional level, cognitive level, or in the physical level also. For example, the exercises which we are doing in our everyday life or on a regular basis, it helps us to maintain a very good healthy body. That is the important thing. Than becoming attractive in front of others, it helps us to it helps us to keep healthy in our everyday life. So what is this spiritual well-being? So when we do an exercise, it is meant for our physical well-being, and this physical well-being is very important as regard to our activities of our everyday life, and also even to remove the mental stress or distress, etc. So the mental exercise is also needed for us, like relaxation or listening to a peaceful music. It also soothes our mind and soul, or listening to a beautiful piece of work done by another person. So these all things helps us to keep us a very well mental balanced state. So let us do all these things, and people are doing all these things in everyday life. So what is this spiritual well-being? What how can we acquire this spiritual well-being in our everyday life? We see that people go to churches or temples or mosque. Okay, for what purpose they are going to all these religious places? It is just for relaxing. Can we say it is for relaxing? So for relaxing, we can do some relaxation exercise or some other, listen to music and so on. Or we can, if for is it for the physical well-being they are going to church or the other places, or temple or other places? Okay, so for physical well-being we can do exercises, isn't it? By that we can become bodily fit and things like that, or get to have healthy body, etc. So they go to spiritual the churches or temples and things like that to tell about their problems to God. And why they express their problem or say their problems to God? What is the purpose of this expressing the problems to God? So they know that there is something else which beyond what their body and mind needs. So it is always there in the mind of the person. The great spiritual advisor of the Christian church, who is known as the doctor of church, is known as Saint Augustine, has once always told that my soul is always restless until it finds its rest in thee. So in thee means, it is an old form of English. Thee means you. So the Saint Augustine is saying that my soul is in restless until it rests in you. So he signifies, by the word you, he signifies God. So there is always a thirst in his soul to reach the God or the ultimate reality. So actually when we are going to temple or church, we are just saying our petitions to the God. If we see to some churches like St. Anthony's church and all, we can hear a lot of petition told by people, and the priest is reading that. Even when we go to temples also, people do so many things to make the marriage work, or to get children. No, different purpose people are going. We know that it is all sincere and things like that. So is there something beyond that we need? Actually it all shows to a thing, as Saint Augustine told, my soul is restless and until it finds its rest in you. So here our mind, our soul, we can call it as soul, searches for something higher in our life always. So this spiritual well-being, some people think that we can get spiritual well-being only by going to church or temple or mosque or things like that. Yes, of course, by going to, we cannot deny the fact that people get spiritual well-being by going to church, temple or mosque. They get spiritual well-being, of course, because there is a spiritual energy present there, or there is a positive energy present there when people pray to God or pray to the ultimate reality reality, say their petitions. Okay, we consider it, some people consider it as Krishna, Buddha, or no, some forms, different ways people see the God, and God is coming them and consoling them in prayer and things like that. So they feel lot of relief and console, isn't it? The consolation and things like that when God is comforting them. There is a image of Christ often we can see in front of churches. Christ is carrying the sheep inside a hand, and lot of lambs are there with him, isn't it? No, that image. Okay, so here we can feel that we are the sheep and we are inside the hands of Christ. So we feel that we are very much consoled or comforted by the presence of God. So why we imagine all these things in our mind? Is it just a mental relaxation, or is our soul searching for something else? So there is an ultimate reality called God. No, we sometimes, so even though it is an abstract concept. So as Saint Augustine says, our soul is restless until it finds its rest in thee. So we need this spiritual well-being in our life to have our daily life effective. And how this spiritual life in well-being is related with our daily life, what it has to do with our daily life. Mental relaxation is enough, or physical relaxation is enough for us to have our everyday life smoother, isn't it? So why no, to improve, we can improve our interpersonal, intrapersonal relations and things like that, isn't it? To mingle with other people. Now we can adopt some techniques, some psychological techniques are possible to mingle very well with the people and things like that. And many people are doing that in our everyday life, even we go to for our job, even me or you, all people, because it's very necessary for our survival. Why there is a cost for the spiritual well-being then? What it has to do with our daily relations? So the spiritual well-being some is very not sometimes the way is very difficult, but we can also have it. As the ancient sages say, that there is a sakshi which is observing all our actions which we are doing in our everyday life. So is it possible for us to be another person to observe the everyday behavior of our life? So in our everyday we are performing so many things in our everyday life. So here the sakshi is observing all those things, or we can call this sakshi also as soul, as I am putting it, and in our own way we can call it, the soul is observing all things, and it is understanding all things also with our body and mind. And the soul can understand even our feelings, and it is also above our feelings. So let us take some time to connect, and the soul can very easily connect with the ultimate reality, which we may call as God, or some expanded consciousness, or whatever it is. So the soul is connecting to the expanded consciousness, and it always searches for something higher. So let us not just be limited with our physical exercises or mental exercises alone. Let us also have this greater search for the reality, or the greater quest for God. The quest for God can help us to have a very good spiritual well-being. It can be possible not only in the churches, or not only in the temples, but also in our everyday life. So if we have this quest for the ultimate reality in an authentic sense, it can also influence our daily living, not as a visible miracle in our life, no, but it can be reflected in our life as a personal miracle in our life. Thank you, dear friends.